All right, episode 2. What are we gonna?
We're
What are we
live.
gonna? We're alive once again.
I have a couple of things
Well, before you
from
do that, though, don't you want to introduce yourself first,
yeah,
or
Papa.
if there's, any new listener out there?
All right. Well, good afternoon, good morning, good night. This is Ralph, aka Burlo, coming at you. Papa Balindong.
Papa Balindong. Is that what you
hmm
wanna
That's my
identify
porn.
yourself?
That's my porn star alter ego, Papa Balindong.
Really? Have you made
hmm
any videos yet?
All private.
All private.
hmm What
Good
about you?
stuff.
Who are you? What's your name?
Uh, you guys can call me Ramon, and I'm an MS Paint illustrator. So I create digital art using MS Paint.
And nobody cares
That's what
about
I do.
what you do.
Exactly. You know what
hmm
I thought of? Like every time we start a new episode, I'm going to introduce something. Well, no, I'm going to introduce myself as someone who's different. Who's always going to be different because I don't know, like I'm a mix of freaking everything. You know what I mean? But this time I want to be known as a digital artist, and I produce personalized designs using MS Paint.
It's just by the way, guys, check his stuff out. It's pretty good. He you made me one design a couple years back about Game of Thrones. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, well, you guys should check out my Instagram account then. Follow me at ReyesRJT at Instagram.com. No, it was no, Instagram doesn't have a .com.
Instagram
I'll be honest.
lame,
I'll be honest. I don't even know my
lame.
Instagram handle. I can't remember if it's ReyesRJT. Let me check that now. But
Well,
anyways, we can talk about that one later. That's not the whole point of this podcast, right? But
anyways,
what is the point
you
of
can
this one?
also follow me. My account is Ralphie Bones. That's RALPHIEBONES underscore. Not Instagram.com because that doesn't work like
Right.
that.
Well, because I
Um,
have a website, and I got confused, right?
all right, big pimpin',
Anyways,
little pimpin'. I have
um,
I have something to share with you
okay, let's talk about it.
from a critic that listened to the episode 1 of the
From a
podcast.
critic. Who
From
is
a
this critic?
critic slash listener. You don't need to know who the critic slash listener is. All you gotta know is they said something about the episode,
Okay, what did they say?
and this person said that it took y'all 30-40 minutes just to figure out how to introduce yourselves, and that person was like, wow.
Exactly.
And I was
Yeah,
like, it is what it is.
that's the whole point.
um
Like, we're doing this on the fly, no preparation. Obviously, we're gonna come out as amateurs, and that is the whole point, right? We're recording the whole process. Jeez, I know you're gonna say something again, but
I'm not gonna say
anyways,
anything. That's you do you. Be yourself.
right. It's just
But
that I've gotten so used to calling it, saying it that way that whatever. Anyways, let's move on.
here's
Is
what
that it?
no, there's another thing. She also, oh, I slipped.
It's a she.
This person also
Uh huh.
said that, and this is kind of um an inside conversation between me and this person, because this
Okay.
person made a comment about you personally, saying that, well, this person asked what you do for a living, and I was like, well, he does a lot of things, but he's an engineer. And this person was like,
Okay.
that makes so much sense. That makes so much sense. And I was like,
Okay. What? Okay. But what does that mean? Like, why did
okay,
it? Why did it make sense?
Let me break it down to you, little
Okay,
brother.
please
Okay.
do.
For some reason, this is take out you in the equation, right?
Okay.
Pretty much all the engineer type
Mm-hmm.
people that we've met have this certain type of personality.
Okay.
You guys
That
are
sounds fair.
you guys are all, when I say you guys, like all the engineers that we've both met.
Right. You're stereotyping engineers, right?
I
Kind
really
of, right?
can't really say stereotype, but anyways, I digress. You guys are all, not all, you guys that we've met are all overthinking, overthinkers, analytical, and a little bit on the boring side.
That's true. And I agree. I do agree.
So there is
I
a
don't
type.
even I don't disagree with your assessment.
My point being is, and this just doesn't go with engineer, this goes with every like profession. There are certain professions in life where it attracts certain type of personalities,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
like for example the engineer that I just said,
Mm-hmm.
it attracts, people that try, I guess, like to analyze, and
Right.
it's not even just those things, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's personality. You guys are
Okay.
scarily alike. I have this one guy that I know, and he's an
Okay.
engineer. He's been an engineer. He's always reminded me of you.
In what way? Like, does he overthink a lot about everything?
Yeah, overthinker, a little bit mundane.
Okay.
Um,
You need to be more specific than mundane.
I
What does that
can't.
even mean? What does that even mean?
Kind of boring. Uh, that's the nicest way I can put it. Okay. I
What?
mean, who knows? This person might listen to this in
Well, that's the
in
thing.
retrospect.
Like, okay, this person that you're talking about, this critic, right? It's just the first time. Well, this person doesn't even probably know me, right? He just
They
saw.
don't need to know you.
Well, you know what I mean, though, right? Like, sometimes it's so easy to. Well, I guess first impressions last, but sometimes you can't really. I guess probably another personality that you don't know, not personality, but a trait is uptight. Engineers are probably uptight too. They're not loose. It seems like they're always calculated, right? But, but you can't really. I don't know. Like, I'm not saying that I'm not boring or I'm not any of those that you just mentioned. I am. I am those. But what I'm trying to say is, I guess that's fair. It's a critic, right? Like, you don't know me. I don't really care,
Well, that doesn't
right?
actually apply because this person is correct because I do know you, and what all the stuff that this person said were correct. So this
Okay, like
person's,
all this stuff. When you say all, you need to again. You need to be more specific. You
see,
follow Jordan Peterson?
you're already
You aware of Jordan
overthinking
Peterson?
this conversation.
Exactly. Otherwise, what are we gonna talk about, right?
Uh, what do you mean? We could talk about so many things. We
And that's
can
what I
drop this
do.
conversation right now.
Well, that's the thing. Well, before we move on to before we move on, remember how I sent you guys that survey, and it talks about how I think too much? Well, everyone thinks that I think too much, and that is true, which is why I agree. Um,
You don't need to agree for it to be true, by the way.
well, right, right. Well, that's exactly why I sent it out, right? Because I need to find that alignment between how people see me and how I see myself. And I do think a lot about things. Like
So let me ask you this question.
uh-huh.
Do you honestly, don't forget about this survey thing.
Yeah.
Do you think that you don't overthink?
Uh, no.
Okay.
I'm just give me a second here. I'm adjusting my volume. All right. Yeah. No, I do overthink,
Oh, so
but
you
not on
do
everything.
think?
Yeah, I do think because I love to think, but not on freaking everything. Like I try to like there's a I guess I'm not quite sure where this is coming from, but I like to think about, why you do what you do, or just trying to understand the person, I guess. Trying to understand myself. I like to dig deep,
Okay.
which is why I could go on and on when it comes to, if we're talking about something, I can go on and talk, keep expanding on that thing, even though we're just talking about introducing yourself, or this conversation right now, we're talking about thinking too much. We're talking about engineers. We're talking about stereotypes. I can go on and on about that as to why this and that, and that's me overthinking things. But I don't overthink on everything. Just so you know,
Mhm.
sometimes I make decisions real quick
So
in some areas.
even serial killers, like, I don't kill everybody, but I know I kill, but I don't kill everybody.
Right?
It still doesn't. You get what I'm trying to say? Like,
Not really. No,
you,
I was just agreeing to be polite.
mhm.
So now you have to, like, that's why you need to, expand on, why
I don't
why do you
really.
think this or that.
It doesn't really. No, it doesn't matter because the point of this is what I meant to say in the beginning is this person pegged you pretty much on the point just from listening to the first episode
Okay.
as far as that goes. And it was pretty funny because inside thing we kind of
Mm-hmm.
connected it to the other engineer person that we know, and
Okay.
that's the point of that.
Oh, so this person reminded me, no, reminded you of me. This engineer person that you guys, well, friends in common, I guess.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. I don't. Sure. That's what you guys think, right? I leave it at that.
Okay, yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you do this week? Anything anything exciting to share?
I've updated my website. I'm starting to learn how to, web design. Been watching a lot of YouTube videos lately on how to create a good web design, and that's what I did.
Mm, plug your website so that people can.
Well, people can visit me at reyesrjt.com. This time with the
Oh,
.com.
it's a .com.
I'm pretty
Fancy.
consistent. Like if you're in if you go on Instagram and if you go looking for me, you can look for Reyes RJT, and you'll find my illustrations there. But if you want to read about my writing, then you should go to my website, and you should find links there to other websites where I've contributed my work to. That's what I do. I journal every day, and I think. I write to think.
Mm,
What about you? Anything interesting? Other than that, nothing's interesting though. It's always been like just work and trying to figure out how to make, money on the side. Because I don't know if if I mentioned, but um, I'm an insurance broker now, right? And I signed up because I wanted to make some extra money on the side, and at the same time, I also believed in the product. However, I'm struggling to find clients or customers because nowadays it's so hard to set up an appointment with people. No one gives a shit, right? And it's COVID. People don't really want to spend money. So people are already tight on time, and at the same time, they're tight on money,
it's a
which
strange
is a
time.
struggle.
It's a very strange time. I
Yeah,
actually haven't asked you about what you think about all this with the corona and the pandemic and the shutdown.
it's weird. That's, it's other than that, but at the same time, it's also, I don't know. I guess it's a good thing in a way too, because now I get to work at home. I get to spend time with my daughter. That's one of the plus. Um, what else? It makes you reflect as well, right? You know how you get to do all those other things back when things were normal, right?
Like what?
And now you can't do any of them. It makes you reflect back on how you know how do you spend your day, right? Where do you spend most of it? um so yeah, I don't know, like I try to be productive as much as I can with what I have now, but that's not due to the
Interesting.
COVID. It's just that it's weird, like we've been planning to we were supposed to go to Mexico for my daughter's birthday, but now we can't because of COVID. But now that we can't go to Mexico, that also means that we're saving some money, right? And then whatever money we save up goes into paying our debts, which is a good thing. You know what I mean?
Anyways, what I think about Corona, when it first started, I was really worried. I was worried that, not saying that it's not serious, because it is, and
Mm-hmm.
I see people with the disease
Oh, okay.
almost on a daily basis. So I actually see firsthand what happens after they get better. But
Mm-hmm.
when it first started and the lockdown first started, I was not gonna lie, I was stressing. I was having some anxiety issues. Couldn't
Mm-hmm.
sleep at night. I just kept like I was obsessed with the numbers. I was obsessed with the stats. I kept
Yeah,
going every day, just looking at the numbers, and I just this went on for at least about 3 weeks into it, and I believe
that
this was
sounds
in
pretty bad.
March.
Yeah,
I believe this was in March, and after that, I just you know you know
you just got
it's
tired of
not
worrying.
it's not if I get it mentality. That's not what I'm trying to say. But at the same time, it's a good balance between being too neurotic, which I was in the first 3 weeks, and
Yeah,
being like a cowboy. Like
yeah,
I don't want to wear a mask, blah blah blah, this and this. Try to find that balance and
that's good.
try not to worry. Basically, what it is, and this applies to a lot of things. You just worry about things that you can control.
Exactly. I agree. Like even I was worried too. Like at one point, I didn't want to like when things like when the cases are starting to rise up. I wasn't comfortable going to work. Every time I come home, I have to like take a shower. That's probably not even doing it. It's probably not even doing anything, but just trying to do something about it makes me feel better about um, I guess how I function my my daily life. I guess that I'm doing something about it as opposed to just ignoring it.
Right.
Um, but yeah, no, you're right. Like you shouldn't be at some point you're gonna get tired of worrying. Um, I was worried too.
And it's
No one
not.
really understands the disease, right?
It's weird. It's a weird disease in general. It's
Yeah.
not as bad as we all anticipated. As far, it's serious, but it's not as worse. It's not as severe as we assumed we were afraid that it was
Yeah.
going to be. But at the same time, it's still. I've known people whose loved ones like died from this, and
Okay.
I've personally have had patients who died from this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not, it's not something to be taken lightly.
Right.
But at the same time, hey man, you got to live your life. You get people got to
Exactly.
go to people got to make money. People got to
Exactly.
make money.
Well, that's one of the reasons why, like, I think that's one of the reasons why they're trying to, like they're doing the different phases, um,
Right.
right? ease up on the lockdowns there, because
It,
the economy needs to move, right? If no one goes to work, no one makes money, then world's gonna stop too, and a lot of people are gonna die because people will starve. I
mhm.
get that. I
Not
get that.
only that, not only that, it's also you got to think about depression, suicide, domestic
Yeah,
violence, crime. All this compounds. They're all together. They're all connected to each other. So it's right now the US is getting pretty bad again. Like the cases have gone up in especially in the
right.
South and California and Arizona and all those states. So actually
What do you think?
the phases
Uh,
has regressed.
okay. So
Yeah.
now they're going back to phase two and back to phase one, I guess.
Whatever phase it was, yeah, they're tightening up the
Okay.
social distancing and all that stuff back again. A lot of factors go into that. Last month we had a bunch of not riots. Riots are part of it, but
Yeah, yeah,
protests,
yeah. Yeah.
and that was a good thing. That was a good movement, but at the same time, it wasn't good for the
Well,
pandemic.
right. Yeah. No, I agree.
And I hate people that are still, oh yeah, this virus is fake. This virus is a hoax. And do you also believe the world is flat as well? Because I can't take you seriously.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I rarely watch the news. I rarely watch the news.
I don't either. The same. I
Uh,
I
I
I deleted. I do. I actually consume my news. Like I would actually type in the
oh, okay.
website because I deleted Twitter. I don't on Facebook. I rarely go and like look at news because
Okay.
it's not healthy, bro. It's not healthy.
Well, no, it's not. Like I just go by, like like people at home. There's like five people here. They're gonna talk about COVID, and that's how I get my news. Um, but at the same time, I'm like, well, I don't know. Again, like you said, like you have to live. You can't just be on worry mode all the freaking time. I don't want to live that way either.
Well, it's funny too because if you worry, that means you're stressing, and that'll
Yeah,
probably lower your immune system, which makes you more susceptible. It's all it
yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
it's all
It
connected.
all adds up. It all adds up for sure, for sure. Especially when you're depressed and all that. Well, that sucks for you. I think it's just, Mother Earth trying to wipe everyone out.
Yeah,
That's why the strong
more of
survives.
a gentle, rub like rubbing off the dirt off the earth's shoulders.
Well, yeah, but that's what life. Well, that's just Mother Nature doing its thing, though, right? You want to wipe out the weak. Not that I'm not trying to sound like, I don't care about, you know, people who suffered from the disease and all that, but well, it sucks.
What you
But
want to
sometimes you
do
gotta,
is protect the vulnerable, like the older
yeah,
folks and the ones that are immunocompromised and the ones with underlying diseases and stuff like
great,
hypertension, diabetes, all those stuff. But
yeah.
the people that are able and young, okay, let's get out there. Let's get it. Let's do our thing. Let's
As
open
long
this
as they get into
economy back up.
contact, well, as long as they get in contact, right? And which is why you use those masks and all those other things
Right.
to
And
prevent
you
the spread.
you be responsible with the freedom that you have. You know,
Yeah.
it's all about, and there's a bunch of idiots out there, and you
Well,
can't
that's why it's
can't avoid
annoying.
it.
Right, you can't avoid it because some people don't really, believe the regulations or whatever restrictions we're putting out there. I don't even go, well, I rarely go to the grocery store now, where we do online grocery shopping, right? You just wait in your car and you're gonna load up to your groceries and off you go, right? But I'm not saying that, but there are some cases where I had to go to a grocery store, and the ones that I go to is they're pretty strict. You know how you have to follow lines on the
Are you guys
have to
required to
follow
wear a
lines.
mask?
Yeah, like before you walk in, you have to, do a hand sanitizer, and then you have to follow the arrows. You can only go one way. You can't go backwards, otherwise, you're gonna they're gonna call you out. And if you don't,
Right.
if you're not intending to buy the stuff, you don't touch it, right?
And some people would find that a little bit overreacting, but it's better to be on the side of caution,
Right.
especially right now.
Yeah, we don't even have a vaccine yet. I know they like they're talking about this one. I can't remember what's it called, remdesivir or something.
It's remdesivir.
Yeah. But it's an expensive vaccine.
It's not a vaccine. It's an
What is
actual.
it?
It's a treatment. It's a medicine that's already out. That was originally meant for something else. That's what
Oh,
remdesivir is. We actually don't have any vaccine that's out right now. I think the closest vaccine that's being developed is on phase 2. And then I believe there's 3 phases
uh-huh.
up until they're able to like ship it out. I could be wrong. It might be 4, whatever. But I think,
I don't have no idea.
yeah, the ones that are in the lead, they're on like phase 2.
Okay. Yeah, because I read it on an email. Like, I have a bunch of I subscribe to a lot of email list out there, and I read that, and and if I remember correctly, it cost about $30,000 for a treatment or whatever that medicine is, remdesivir or whatever. It's good that everyone's working to
But
find a solution.
all the brightest minds, the brightest,
Yep.
medicine makers, scientists.
And that's what COVID does too, right? Like it unites people, right? Um, Again, at the same time, it's weird. It's just weird.
One thing that I hate about all this, especially here in the US, is all this stuff is getting politicized. And I hate that. Like,
Well, you got to
this thing
understand.
this thing is not political. This thing does not have any political sides. You don't have to be on the left, you don't have to be on the right. If you get it, you get it. And the fact that
Right?
wearing a mask / not wearing a mask has become this political, like a polarizing political thing. If people that don't wear masks, you automatically they put you in this one group, and if you wear a
Okay.
mask all the time, they put you in this one group. And I'm so tired of it. Like, I'm so tired of all this.
Yeah. The
But this is
yeah.
America, baby. This is America.
And like, what are you gonna do?
Let's go back to the motherland. Let's go back to the Pilipinas.
That's
Pilipinas.
well, it's worse there though, right? What if you get sick there? Are you gonna get the treatment that you wanted? Probably not, right? That's risky. But going back to what you're saying about um, treating it as a political thing, I don't know. Like some people are just, I don't know. What the heck do these people do anyways, right? Sometimes if you've got nothing else to pick on, you pick on the minutia, the smallest things. Like you become a fanatic about something, and I don't know if that's healthy.
It's not. It's not healthy
It's
at all.
not, and maybe it's
That's one of the reasons why I deleted Twitter, because I can't stand that stuff. I deleted my Twitter. I
mm-hmm,
believe like a month and a half ago.
mm-hmm.
Bro, never felt better.
Really.
Never felt better.
I've never had Twitter since I can't even fucking remember.
Good. You don't need it.
I go on
You do
Facebook
not.
once in a while, but I do it to promote my blogs. Other than that, or to reconnect with you guys, to family and friends from
Right.
that are not in Winnipeg.
That's the reason why I can't, because I was planning on deleting my Facebook as well and just leave Instagram, because Instagram is my main thing. But I
Uh-huh.
was planning on deleting Facebook but I couldn't for the same reason that you just said. You know,
Yep.
gotta it's a way to connect with our
Right.
people in the Philippines,
Especially now,
especially now.
right? I'm sure you use Facebook to FaceTime with, family and friends out there.
I
Like,
actually
why
don't.
would you do? No,
It's more is
I rarely
I
do too because
believe
I've been so busy. Trying to find the time to, like even to do this, it's tough.
right. Yeah.
Um,
You have to commit to certain things because we only have so many like so much time during the day, during the week.
yep.
And speaking of that, this weekend is July 4th here in good
I
old
was,
America.
I
America.
was think, I was just gonna ask you about that one because I'm like, are we going to do a podcast on Saturday? Because I don't know if that's gonna work out. You're probably gonna go out there and shoot some fireworks.
I, I know I actually don't have any plans. No, none of that. Because
uh,
as you know, I am
aren't
here
you
in
aren't you
Maryland.
aren't you
I
planning on calling your family too?
I am here
They're
in
probably
Maryland,
celebrating.
so
Hmm.
I'm by myself up here. My family's in Georgia. So, and the lockdown is pretty much in place over here, so we're not allowed to do a lot of things outside. Well, I do run outside about 4 days a week, but
Well, that's
and then
good.
I go to work.
How long do you run
That's my
for?
main thing. 2.5 miles usually.
2.5 miles. Like I'm not good when it comes to miles. Just tell me how long that
Oh,
you're gonna run
you
for.
mean like time wise?
Yeah.
Usually about 40-45 minutes.
Oh, it's pretty long. That's good.
Yeah, I do it 3-4 times a day. I mean a week.
I try to work out every day. Like I had like a weight loss competition with my fiance, and they lost. So now I have to work out every day for at least 30 minutes. Lift weights
Mm.
and run for another 30 minutes Monday to Friday. I haven't been running though, so I failed that, but I kept up with lifting weights.
I have this little project that I have going on. Um, I'm planning on quitting any type of sugar for the whole July,
Why
and
sugar?
it's sugar is one of my weaknesses,
Okay.
especially with coffee. Like coffee is my main thing. I can't drink coffee black, so I usually have
Oh,
cream
same
and
here.
sugar.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is I can drink green tea with nothing, just pure green tea, and I'm okay. So
Yeah.
I've been having this weight loss thing since pretty much January. I started this year. It's slowly, gradually gone down. But this July, I'm trying to
Hmm.
I'm going full court press. No cheat days, cheat
You know what?
meals.
You know what I don't like about that though. I guess it's good if you can keep up with it, but um, but sometimes
It's
if
hard.
if you if you go cold turkey like that, it's not sustainable. After a while, you're gonna get to a point where you're like, yes, fuck this shit, and then you're next thing you know, you're back into drinking coffee with two sugar and two cream. That happened to me.
Well,
Like I
it's
tried that too.
it's
I've
not
been
cold
what?
turkey has always worked for me.
Oh, okay.
That's how I was able to quit smoking. I didn't do any patches or weaning
Oh,
off
okay.
whatever. I just quit one day and that was it. I don't plan on quitting sugar forever. This is just so I can kind of change the habit because I don't want to keep
Uh-huh.
drinking coffee all like my whole life. Like I actually want to switch to green tea.
How much coffee do you drink anyways?
Just one like 24-ounce cup of like Dunkin' Donuts, which is like 300 grams of sugar
Oh,
every day, pretty much like
this
7
is
days a
going
week.
before is this before going to work or something? Or while at work or on your way to
Well,
work?
yeah, it's throughout the day.
And you only but just we're just talking about one cup of coffee though a day, right?
Yeah, one cup of coffee, but I still consume like other sugar. I have like freaking sweet tooth, bro. Like I
Oh,
love me
okay. I
some
don't know.
dessert.
Like one thing I don't like about like drinking sweet or eating sweet stuff is it makes me thirsty. However,
Yeah.
I love coffee, and I always you know I have to have two sugars and two creams on that coffee. I enjoy coffee, so that's one of the
So
reasons
you
why I ask. I'm a big fan of coffee, and I drink
so
coffee
you
every
agree
fucking day.
you agree with me, at least on that regard, that it's
With what?
the coffee's awesome.
Oh, it is.
Coffee's good.
I
Yeah.
haven't, but I brew my own coffee. Well, no, I have a Keurig.
Yeah.
That's what I
I do
use. I don't
too.
I don't go out and buy. And yeah, and on some days I would drink 2 cups. Like I get that craving. I thought about quitting coffee too one time, but then I'm like, I don't know why the fuck do I want to quit coffee anyways. Well, one of the reasons, well, initially I read this article about the effects of coffee. That you should use it more strategically, right? Drink it if you need it. If you don't drink it. Um, so I thought about that. Like if I wanted to focus more at work, because I do a lot of reading at work. Um, I can drink coffee to give me a boost in focus. However, the problem that I found with that is, I don't know, like I find it so hard to quit it. Like I would have to stop drinking coffee for like probably 2 weeks to get it out of my system. Because I've been drinking
Move.
coffee for a freaking long time now, and caffeine doesn't really do much in my system. It doesn't really make me more focused. You know what I mean? Like my immunity to caffeine is high. That drinking coffee isn't really uh, giving me extra focus.
Yeah, you
It's
just do
not
it
a
because you
good
like
drug
it
to my
at this
system.
point.
I drink it because I enjoy it. Yeah.
Same.
And one thing that I realized though is this is what happens when I journal, because then I ask myself these things. However, when I drink coffee, I feel more focused. What I'm trying to say is it doesn't have a in terms of chemical, like body chemicals and all that stuff. It's not doing anything to make me more focused. But what
Psychological now.
it is psychological.
Yeah. I'm the
So I
same.
stuck with it. So then I stopped. I mean, I abandoned the mission.
You abandoned the mission.
Yeah, I said fuck it. I love coffee, so I'm gonna keep drinking coffee.
I do too, but it's just one of those things. I need my weight loss has kind of stalled. I haven't been losing a lot of weight. Then I'm putting up more effort, and the results hasn't been this like equal. So I'm thinking to myself, there has to be something that I'm doing wrong, that I'm not getting
Mm-hmm.
the results that I need. And there's two things that I've identified. It's
Okay.
I do, I cheat a lot. I cheat at least once a week, and it's not a cheat meal; it's a cheat day. And
Okay.
coffee, it's sugar. It's a lot of sugar. If you ever,
What about sleep though? Are you
I'll
getting
sleep. I'm
enough
good.
sleep?
I sleep good. I sleep
No,
really
okay.
good.
Because I know sleep is one thing.
Yeah, I sleep pretty good.
Um, you have to have sleep. Otherwise, all that effort that you're doing is probably gonna go to waste. Okay, well, if
Preaching
you
to the
have
choir.
sleep checked out, then I don't know. Maybe now it's time to hire a coach.
I wasn't asking for your advice, bro. I already
Uh,
told you. I've already identified it, and that's what I'm gonna do this July. I'm
well,
gonna
we'll see.
I'm gonna
Like,
not do any
okay.
cheat. I'm not gonna cheat at all. Maybe once, because I think my brother is
When you
coming
say
up
cheat,
here.
when you say cheat day, what what are we talking about? When you say cheat, like, can you like paint a
Yeah,
picture? Because I don't know
I
what that
will.
looks like.
Okay, I will paint you a picture.
Okay.
The last cheat meal that I ate
Uh-huh.
was. Do you remember the Quiznos sub?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I miss those subs. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had two large ones, a big bowl of broccoli and cheese soup,
Uh-huh.
a bag of Doritos,
Okay.
a big cookie, and then a
That
large root beer.
we're talking about one meal, hey?
Yeah, I mean, it's more like
Or
two
is that
meals.
for? Oh,
It's
okay.
2 meals.
Oh, you were talking about the total. That's how much you're eating for the whole day.
No, I've had breakfast with that,
Okay.
but
Oh, okay.
that's how like much I eat whenever I try to like cheat. And right now, just letting you know, I'm starving. I'm so hungry right now. I've been so hungry. It's only the 3rd of July. It's only been 3 days, dude, and I'm dying.
You're done.
Yeah, this
Maybe
whole
it's
entire
time to
time
go for
that
that quiz though, sub.
this whole
I
entire
haven't.
time this whole
You know
entire
what
time
I
that
do?
we're talking, I've been thinking about food. Food is in like the back of my head right now.
Really?
That's how bad. That's
Well,
how
maybe
bad it
because you
is.
just came home from work. You
I
should
didn't
eat.
come
Like
home
you
from
need to
work.
energize, right? In the evening. Well, I don't. Yeah. I guess for dinner, you know what we do? We just blend salad with banana. Like that's what I had today was I blend blended some you know those not it's not a salad set, but you know those salads that you buy, the green leafy salad, whatever.
Romaine lettuce.
Not romaine lettuce. No, they come in packs. Um, but like how it has it doesn't have romaine lettuce, but it has spinach.
Oh,
Um,
like a
yeah,
spring
it's like a spring
mix.
mix. Spring mix. That's yeah, spring mix. So I'd have that blended with banana and peanut butter, and that's what I have for dinner. Um, a lot less than what you're consuming. Uh,
Wait,
maybe you should try that.
that was my cheat meal. That's not like
Oh
a
yeah, never
regular
mind,
day.
never mind. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, no.
Don't judge me. You're judging me.
Yeah,
You know what I eat for like a regular day?
yeah.
Okay, so I eat one sausage and 3 eggs. That's one meal. Okay, I only eat
Okay.
2 meals a day, and I don't eat past 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock is my cutoff
Oh wow.
time.
So then, what's drive like? I guess the next question that I have then is, when you're on your cheat day, do you feel excited about it? Do you like, do you like crave for all these things that you have to, eat that much?
Yeah, buddy. I crave all those things. It's more like, a reward because I've worked so hard with my willpower. I've like disciplined myself.
Yeah,
You can only be disciplined for a period of time because you're gonna break.
I'm gonna have to disagree. Why do you break? Why can't you? Have you ever tried delaying it? Have you ever been like, you know what? If you're listening to Jocko Willink, I'm pretty sure you've heard one of his podcast about donut. If you can delay it, like if you can delay your cheat day for another day, then try that.
Jock was my dude, but also The Rock. Have you seen The Rock's like cheat
No,
meals?
no.
Oh, it's like mountain of like pancakes and like cookies. Like he goes hard on the paint, baby. He goes
Okay,
hard
so
on the
that makes
paint.
sense. So now that makes sense, because now you look up to The Rock,
I look up at
which,
everybody.
well, what
I
I'm
try
saying
to
is, like, if The Rock can do that kind of stuff, then why can't you do it, right?
I mean, that's not the main reason. I'm
No.
just saying I do the same thing because I agree with what he's doing.
Exactly, exactly, because
I
you look
don't
up to him because you agree with what he's doing. You know what I mean? Eh, eh, Like even I, like when someone that I admire does one thing, obviously I'm gonna try to follow their lead too. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
the point with that is he's able look at him. And
Hmm.
he's doing that and he still looks like that. So
Well, you know why though, right?
yeah, because
Because
I mean steroids and
I don't know,
that's
not
his
even
job.
that, not even exactly. It's the job.
Juice it up, baby.
It's the job, right? Like, because you and I have a full time job. I do too. And, like I can't work out all day. I only have so much time in my hands, right? Um, but I try to sneak, a workout in as much as I can.
But we're not on the same page when it comes to that. We are, but we aren't at the same time because you look the same as far as your size. I got fat this past like 4 years,
Really?
and yeah, I got
I don't
fat.
know.
Like I've gained like
I don't know.
I,
Like, you look the same to me.
I've gained like 40 pounds.
Oh
You
wow.
know,
I
yeah,
gained weight too. Since I
I've
became
gained
a
like
dad, I
40
gained weight.
pounds, and that's not, you know, it's not purely for vanity reasons why I want to do this. It's more
Hmm.
like we're at an age where we have to seriously like consider like health and
Yep.
fitness, and that's my
It's an
that's my
investment, right?
priority.
It's an
Heck yeah, it's
investment.
an investment. It's an
And
investment.
the reason why people are having a hard time, I think, keeping up with, this kind of investment is because you don't, just like any investment, you're not gonna see the results right away. It takes time. Like, even when it comes to working out, like, I'm only lifting what, like 20 pounds of weight and 15 pounds here and there. You're probably thinking, you're not, those are not heavy enough, if you really want to gain muscles and all that. But the thing is, the point is not about how much you're lifting. The point is, it's about creating the habit of doing it. I'm all about habits. Like, if I can integrate that into my daily routine, then good. Like, right now, I have been, working out for a whole month. I haven't missed a day. No, I have. Like, I'm talking about Mondays to Fridays. I haven't missed a day yet, and I kept up with it. So now it's starting to become a habit.
Right.
And I don't know. Yeah, you do. Do you do cold showers too? I do that too.
No, I don't. But I've read somewhere or I've listened somewhere that it takes, at the minimum, it takes 20 times to build like a certain habit if you want to do
30.
something ritual. Is it 30? Okay, so
Yeah,
it's more then. So you have to
yeah.
do it for 30 straight times.
And that's just the minimum too. Like, it's a case by case
Yeah,
basis,
that's
right?
what
It's
I
not.
mean.
Um, yeah, it's because after a
Because
while you get to a point where things are always changing, right? Maybe when I get back to work, like, I can do that today because I don't have to get ready for work, right? After working out, I could just hop onto my computer and be like, hey, I'm at work.
it's less time constraining
Right.
because of the scheduling. But I get what you're saying. At the same time, if you want something, you'll make time for it. There's
That's exactly
always
it.
there's
That's
always
exactly it.
something. There's always some BS thing that you're doing that you can get rid
Yeah.
of.
Yep. Yep. And that's it's funny you say that, because this week, like, I signed up for this newsletter about creating focus, and that's one of the lessons that he's teaching. You there's a reason why you tend to get distracted to do other things as opposed to doing the one that you should be doing, and you need to dig deep and find out why that's the case, and you need to address that. Otherwise, you're going to stay in that same loop. And we're all programmed, you know when we were kids, and it all boils back to your experience as a kid. Like, there's a reason why you do what you do today, and that must have been it started when you were a kid.
That's why I agree with that. I like where you're going. And that's why I hate what we did. When I say we, probably me and Jekyll in
Yeah.
like school and high school and like all that. It's just it built bad habits. It built laziness. It built no discipline and no drive. It's Hakuna Matata is good, but at the same
Right.
time, that's that's not a good thing as far
I
as
see
like
what you're saying, but
advancing in your like stuff. No,
eh,
because wait, let me finish this.
yeah.
Because I've had to battle this my whole life, and I'm just now starting to kind of get a handle on mastering this. Me,
Mm,
when I say this, meaning like having like applying discipline and trying to
yeah.
have that drive
Hmm.
at 33 years old. It took me a while,
Well, that's the
but
thing.
hey,
You know,
I got here.
right. You know what you need though before you start smartening up? heartbreak. And I'm not talking about a romantic heartbreak. It could be like a loss of something, like something super fucking painful that
Hmm.
destroys your like every fucking thing. Like
Gee, I
if
wonder what
you
that is for me.
right,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? Like if you've reached rock bottom, then that's when you start creating a better foundation. But until then, like you're probably gonna change, but the change is not gonna be as significant as opposed to when you're starting from rock bottom. Jekyll, that guy's been through a lot of rock bottoms. That's why he's changed. He's so different now. And I told him that. Talks about you know, he's religious now, I think, based on his recent post on Facebook. He's not the same person anymore. But it took him a while to get there. But what got him there though? You know what I mean? Something happened. Something happened to me too. Like I wasn't like this before. I wasn't like this since no, when did I start reading into like well remember when I was in Toronto? How about you and Liz all the fucking time? Um I was depressed and I was scared of shit that I'm not gonna be able to, you know, find success out there. I became desperate for a job. I was unemployed for like 8 fucking months, I think. And that it took that long for me to start smartening up. Did I tell you about that this dude who he's not a dude. But anyways, I was desperate for a job and I reached out to this guy in LinkedIn because I gave myself a month. I gave myself a month to find a job, and if I can't find a job, I'm gonna have to move back to Manitoba, to Winnipeg. So then I was desperate. I reached out to this guy. Don't know this guy, but it looked like he was from a recruiting company. So I sent him an authentic message, like a heartfelt message, asking him for his help. And then he asked me for my number. I was actually surprised he responded. I wasn't expecting anything. So he responded. Okay. And um, then one weekend, this was the same time when my family is, in town. They were there. They were in Toronto to visit. I got a call from this guy on a weekend. So I was surprised. I'm like, I was hoping like this guy would call me on a weekday, on his work day, not on a weekend. Fuck man, like timing is just off. So I told him, I'm like, um, can we talk about this next week on Monday? And then he goes, well, this is the only time I have left. Like, this is the only time I have. Like, if we either do this now or we don't do it. So I'm like, fuck. No, I have to take the call. This happened while I was on the way to meet up with my family. I was at a bus stop. So then I'm like, no, like, you know what? Let's talk now. So then we started talking. We started talking about my resume. And then he asked me a lot of questions about why did you do this? Why did you do that? And I didn't know the answer to any of those questions. I felt stupid. He made me feel stupid. Um, and then, so 45 minutes of our conversation was just basically him saying that, um, see, you're trying to look for a job, and yet like, what do you expect? Um, how can you expect people to call you? You know, good companies. How can you expect people to call you if your resume is so elementary? I was like, holy fuck, this guy. Like here I am thinking that my resume is, like it's an excellent resume because it got me a few jobs, and now this guy's telling me that it's shit. And then like, so what do I do? Like, and he goes, well, if you're pretty serious about it, then write a new one up, send it to me on Monday. So that basically means I have 2 days to write one up. had to like. So I ended up, meeting up with my parents too after that. But I only had, a couple nights to write a good one, and he did like it. But one thing that I remember him saying was, um, he's like, if you're serious about this, you need to start taking responsibility. And so yeah, the conversation lasted for like almost an hour. About 45 minutes of that is just him shitting on me. But the other 15 minutes was, like him trying to encourage me. Like, like the reason why you're this is because you've been rejected so many times in your life. Man, this guy almost made me fucking cry. It's like you've been rejected so many times that like you lost your confidence, right? Like there's a lot in you, but you're failing to communicate it. But for you to communicate, you got to start taking responsibility. And since then, I started taking responsibility. Like his words stuck with me. You know what I mean?
So when you were
That was
saying
that's one of the most powerful things that happened to me. Since then, that's when I
it just
started.
takes a little bit. It takes something on a really bad situation. But to backtrack, what you were saying, you have to be in a rock bottom
Yep.
in order to change.
Yeah.
I believe I have my rock bottom this year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been really bad.
Yeah.
This past couple of months, and
it will be, and it has to be bad.
it doesn't have to be bad. I
It has to be
disagree on
bad.
that. I disagree.
You know why does it have to be bad?
It
Because
doesn't
then
have
you
to be
remember.
bad. It doesn't have to be bad for you to change. That's not a requirement.
I think it is.
That's a contributing factor.
It
It'll
is.
speed things up.
You know why I think that way though?
Why do you think that way? Because I will disagree with you, whatever it is.
Right. Like, okay, let's have a healthy debate here, or
Wait, I
like
don't
a
want.
discussion.
Let's not debate yet. I just want to finish like my side.
Okay, finish it off.
I'm not gonna delve into details. But basically, I feel that if I have to agree with your statement about you need to have a rock bottom or
Mm-hmm.
a really bad situation for you to
Mm-hmm.
evolve into a better version of yourself. Pretty
Right.
much, I
Mm-hmm.
believe that is
Well,
what happened to me.
mm-hmm.
And right now, I'm in the process of I'm getting out of my cocoon. I'm sure
You're
the
healed.
worm is
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Yeah, I think because I want to save this for a different episode. I
Well,
don't
it's
want
gonna
to
be a
delve
long
too
one.
much.
I I
Yeah,
I, I get it. It's gonna be a long one.
right,
We'll save it. But for now,
right.
I guess what we can talk
Yeah,
about is the concept of pain and change. There's a relationship between the two. When I'm sure your grandma spanked you when you were a kid, and there were times when you thought that spanking was a joke because it probably didn't hurt. And if it doesn't hurt, you're gonna tend to do it again and again and again and
I
again.
think it's more psychological. I mean,
I
looking
think
back,
that's
I don't think it hurt, but
But no, like that's just an example. What I'm talking about, if it
no,
wasn't
no,
painful,
I get what you're saying. I get what you're
yeah,
saying.
you tend to do it again, and life has a way of reminding you that.
Right,
That's what I, from based on my experience. I'm not gonna get into details either, but that's
but I
what I
feel like
realized.
that doesn't invalidate people who's gone through change and not being a rock bottom because
Right, good for them.
exactly. But my point
They're
is
very disciplined.
that's why it's not a requirement to be in a
Right.
rock bottom. It
Mm-hmm.
helps and it
A
speeds
lot.
things up. Yes, and it's
Yes.
very
Right.
that's like your
I
drive, that's your
agree. I agree.
motivation.
I agree. I don't disagree with that. Like it's really hard. I can't really put a blanket statement to, right? But
But I
obviously,
feel like I agree with you too because I feel that not saying that I don't respect the people who's changed without
mhm,
it, but to go through fire and come out alive and be a better person, be a better version of themselves. It feels more like, man, respect, bro, respect.
Yeah, I went through shit.
Yeah,
And
exactly. So I get it. I get it.
okay, now I'm remembering so many fucking things right now. Have you ever
Hey,
read
no, write it down because we're not gonna go over all this.
right. Have you ever read have you heard of Brene Brown about
Mm,
vulnerability?
okay.
She has a TED talk. You might want to listen to that. And she's talking about the
What?
man in the arena.
Wait, what's her name? Renee
Brene
Brown.
Brown. Um, she has a TED talk about vulnerability. And
Hmm.
and she's talking about the man in the arena.
Talk to me.
Um, I can't even. That goes to show that I didn't fully understand what I just listened to. But
Well, don't
that's
spoil it
something.
for me. Let me just check
Yeah,
it
yeah,
out
yeah,
myself.
yeah. But basically, the people who goes through fire are the ones that deserve respect, not the critics, right? Like
Right.
it boils down to that.
Just for a
And
simple example, when you just said something made me think about it. Critics are just people. I've heard it somewhere. It might be from like a movie. Critics are the ones that didn't make it, so they get to talk crap about people who are trying to make it.
yeah, it makes them
Especially
feel
like,
better, right? It that's the thing. Like, and this goes back to failing too. Like, why do people avoid failing, right? Like, why is failing such a bad thing?
that's
Has
not
something
even
to do
the
with ego.
it's not even the question though. Why are people afraid of trying? Because most of the time they're afraid of failing because of ego. Like you're missing like a part of that.
Okay, I guess so. Yeah, yeah. No, you're right. Like, people don't try because if you try, um, and if you fail,
Right. They'd
it it,
rather be
it
on
attacks
a
their ego.
stat. Yeah, they'd rather be on like a status quo or like on
Yeah.
a. Oh, here. Oh man, I'm remembering stuff too. Um, it's just a quote that I thought about. Um,
Hmm.
midi. No, no, not mediocrity. Comfort and happiness are a product of mediocrity. And no, no, no. Let me reword this.
Okay,
Okay.
that's a little deep.
Yeah. Um, basically, the point of what I'm trying to say is people that are happy and content tend to settle and
Yes,
not push themselves further.
yes.
So,
That's why people become bored about things, right? Because everything's so good. And
yeah,
when you stop trying and you want to stay there, that's when you become bored because how do we explain this? Like, you know how some people don't want to be taught something because they think they're the greatest, right?
the worst, by the way,
Right? Like, because
word.
then if you're like the expert at this and you think that you've reached, mastery, then it sucks for you because then you capped out. There's no more
Right.
learning for you,
Not
right?
only that, it it's not very healthy for your mindset because you become you develop this thought process of I don't need to better myself anymore because I'm at the top.
Uh, right.
And I don't, that loses your competitiveness and just become like, by the way, uh,
A
have
mediocre.
you, yeah, like
Yeah,
mediocrity.
or
Have
average. Yeah,
you,
average.
have you seen the latest Kevin Hart episode with Joe Rogan? If
No, I
not,
haven't. I haven't.
it was like I believe like 3 weeks to like a month ago. But you should check it out because it's really great when it comes. It goes in line with what we're talking about.
I,
And you already
I've
know, like Kevin Hart
Yeah,
is
Kevin Hart. Like,
very he's
yeah.
good at that. But one thing that stuck out to me without spoiling the episode is he said something about you don't even need to compete with others. All you need is yourself. You just have to compete with yourself and be a better version of yourself every day. Just have to beat yourself. You become
Yeah,
a better. You become a better at this every single day. You work at that goal.
yeah.
And
I
if you
totally agree.
always, right, and if you always have that mindset, you're always going to be hungry. You're always going to stay like driven. You're always going to not settle and not be content.
That reminds me. I remember a time I was texting you and Liz about, because this was back when I was in Toronto, and I was reading this book by Anthony Robbins, and it's a self-development guru. Where I know you probably heard of him, and I
Yeah,
think I
from you
remember
last
one.
week.
I think I remember you guys saying, like, what's the whole, when are you gonna stop looking in, like, improving this and that, and like, and it felt like I'm all talk. But in my head, I'm like, but there's no end to this thing. It just keeps fucking going. There's no end.
No, there's
You know what I
not.
mean? Like, I guess what I
There's
was,
not.
and I'm talking about like back to 7, 8 years ago, I guess, when this whole thing happened. We were different people. We were different persons then. We were different people then. So, but that's the kind of like the message, the vibe that I got from you guys. Like, why do you do all
We're
these things? When is it gonna
we're
end?
proud. We're probably just tired of you talking all this
Probably that could
BS.
be it.
Yeah.
That could be it. And I don't blame you guys. But anyways, it's just funny you mentioned that there is no finish line. And the bad about finish line is, when you reach a finish line,
Like a
it's really
goal.
a start. Yeah, or reach a goal.
Hmm.
It's really a start of another goal.
Right.
Do
Because
you
you have
feel
to fail that. Yeah, yeah.
there also,
1000% agree with you.
and there's that depression that you feel too when you reach a goal.
It's like
When you know what I mean? And that's
I
what I
wouldn't
felt when I
call it
finished high school.
I wouldn't call it depression. It's more like
It's not
it's
depression, but
it's more like a
there's a
like a
gap.
like a yes. It's more
There's a
like a
gap
gap.
that you need to fill. Because then,
Like a
okay,
void. It's like a
yeah,
void.
you're like, okay, I'm done school. I'm already here. What's next? And it's stuck. It's hard to be stuck in that phase when you're like, I don't know what else to do now because I've reached that. What else? What else is there to conquer? Then you look for other
When
mountains.
yes, look for other now, and it doesn't have to be at the same lane that you're on. Yeah, for example, like if my goal is to graduate college, which I did last year.
Yeah,
Okay, that goal is over. My next goal doesn't have to be academic. It could be something else.
right.
You get what I'm saying? It could
Kind
be
of,
some.
kind of, kind of.
There's always something that you can improve upon all the time,
Correct. Correct.
all the
And
time.
and that's where I'm at right now. Now that I've learned that, the I guess the next phase of that is trying to, because now you know that there's so many things that you can improve on. Like, I would, I buy books all the time, and I try to like teach myself as much as I can, and I try to do other things. Right. Problem with that is, if you don't manage it properly, now you become overwhelmed because now there's so many things you wanted to do, and because
Yeah,
there's so many things you wanted to do, it's so hard to focus on one thing because you want to do everything. You know what I mean?
I feel like I'm kind of on that phase right now,
Oh,
just because
yeah,
I've I've been dabbling in so many different things right now. Like this we've started this podcast.
yeah,
I I set a goal to write 6 songs that I have to finish by winter.
yeah.
So I'm working
I
on that. I have my physical project going on.
uh-huh.
I'm in the process of moving out of state in two
Mm-hmm.
months. So it's
That's
like
good though.
so much. Yeah, right. It's good in the fact that it's filling up my time. I don't have any like free time
Exactly.
to feel sorry for myself,
Not even
basically.
that. You don't even have time to criticize other people. You're probably not like, what? I don't have fucking time to, like, if you do whatever you want to do, just fucking do
Hmm.
it. I don't care because I have so much other shit to worry about.
Yeah.
Like
And
like it's unfair too for you to spend your time worrying about criticizing them, because are they really worth your time? can
Is
probably
it
use your time
bad?
some.
Is it bad that having gone through what I've just gone through, that sometimes I get a little insensitive when people talk to me about their little problems, and I'm just like,
I that happened to me too. It comes with control, right? Like at the same time, you don't want to. You still have to learn how to socialize with others, and try to get that. I don't know. Like I hate it when
wait,
people complain at work too.
when you say control, what talk to me about that? What do you mean?
Can you repeat what I just said? Because I just forgot.
You said it's something with control. I don't think it is. It has nothing to do with control.
Well, I guess
Talking
what I meant
about
to say is managing how you interact with other people. I guess
so
that's what I meant.
basic. No, yeah, I agree, but at the same time, I don't externalize it. I don't tell them that like, oh, what you're going through is not a big deal. Like, look at what I'm going through. I don't say it, but in my head, I'm just like, bish, like this nothing, bro. Like, what are you doing? Like this
Hmm.
stuff you shouldn't even talk about because you should just handle this yourself. But at
Yeah.
the same time, I realize and I get that not everybody's the same and not everybody goes through the same thing.
Oh, you know what I just realized too? Sometimes, when you're irritated about other people, there's a this is what I realized about myself. There's this one dude that I don't know, he just irritates the fuck out of me. And then I had to ask myself, like, why the fuck am I so irritated by this fucker? And you know what I realized? I'm irritated because I was him.
Ah,
And he
like
represents the old me, and I hated the old me. So if I
wait,
ever see people who complains a lot about, like, every time I see someone who embodies,
how far back? Like 5 years, you, 10
oh,
years, you.
I'd say 5-10 years me, you
Mm,
know, when none of this self improvement, taking responsibility shit happened. That dude who, like, every time I see, like, at work, if they complain about, like, the smallest things, I'm like, fuck, guys, like, you need to own it. Like, you can't keep, if you don't want to do this, fucking quit. Stop complaining.
right. But
Like,
do you tell them that or you
I
think
don't
about it?
tell them that. I don't tell, but sometimes I try to, like, hey, you know what? You might want to look at it from a different perspective, right? And sometimes I get tired of kind of showing them that, because I understand that sometimes I kind of want them to fail too, for them to realize things. I can't rob them off of that learning, right?
Right, right,
That's why sometimes I kind of let people fail. Because if I don't let them fail, they're not gonna. They need to see it for themselves, especially if they're so wrapped up in their ego that I know this shit, I know what I want, and therefore this is what I'm gonna do. I'm like,
it's
go
good
ahead.
for their humility to fail. It's a good lesson for
Yep,
them.
yep. And again, it goes back
Mhm.
to the change, and you're not gonna change until you fall flat on your face. Change is harder.
Right. So
Um,
do you think you're gonna be that type of parent? You're not. You're gonna be. You're gonna let your kid make
Fail.
their own mistakes.
Yep.
You're not gonna be like, oh, I don't want you to follow your dreams because
No.
that's not gonna be successful. That's not gonna make you money. You
No.
know that
No.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
traditional. A
Oh.
lot of
Oh yeah. Oh
Filipino,
yeah.
a lot
Oh
of
yeah.
Filipino
Oh yeah.
people are like that.
But
Yung mag-nurse ka na lang, wag ka ng ganyan.
you know the
Bakit drawing ka ng drawing?
you know the problem that I have with those people though. It's sad because
they they
they
did the
get.
same thing. They did the
And,
same thing. They
and
had parents who told them to not follow their dreams, and they're giving back the same lessons that they've learned.
but that's
And
the thing. Like, it's unsolicited advice.
that's what everybody does, bro. A lot of
Uh,
people feel like they just need to give you advice. You just did that to me a while ago. I wasn't asking for advice and you gave me advice. That's just
wait, wait,
a natural
that's true.
human thing.
But I guess that came out because I don't know what I was thinking too. But anyways, I'm talking about, like, titos, titas, and lolos and lolas sometimes. You know what I mean, right? Like they're wired to. give you an advice in life, and I'm like, motherfucker, I want to make my own mistakes.
Mhm.
and
Mistakes build
you
character, baby.
and the thing is, when they tell you these things, it's not really about you, it's about them.
Exactly. Exactly.
They
Well,
want to sound wise.
they disguise it as, yeah, they, well, not only that, they disguise it as they care about your future, because, oh, you do this because you this is how you make money. But,
Hmm.
and that's the biggest thing, that's, and this is like a bigger problem in general, because why why is the issue more about, you do this because this will make you happy, instead of, you do this because this will make you money. This, why is it financial? Why do
Well,
we
well, it's
tie the happiness with, because it's not. We've seen this time and time again. There has been studies to where financial success does not correlate to happiness.
it doesn't.
Not at
However,
all.
it magnifies it. It
Eh,
magnifies it,
eh.
right? Well, I'm into like make like that's what I'm all about right now. I want to learn how to create another stream of income. And that's what I learned too when trying to start a business. At first, you know, I had again like I thought that maybe when you start a business, the goal is to make money, right? But after a while, I realized that no, like to be in business, you have to be authentic, and you have to um, you need to help people, and you need to be authentic about it. You don't do it because you want to make money. You want to do it because you want to help.
The money shouldn't be the first priority.
Exactly. But a lot of people who are starting a business though don't start
With that
that way.
mindset, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It took me a while to realize that, because you get to a point where like, you know what, fuck this. Then you get to a point where I just want to help people. And
Well, one thing that I've seen and observed with business and stuff, because I have business like experience.
yeah,
You have to believe in what you're about. You have to believe in your product or what you're selling,
exactly.
or that's the main thing, and you have to be passionate about it. And
Hmm.
all that stuff that's in here does not work if this doesn't work. You have to use your hands, actions.
Yeah,
There has to be a translation between ideas and actions,
yeah,
between the mind and the hands. Remember when we were talking about me, Joseph, Jomar down
yeah,
here?
yeah.
We were trying
Probably
to start
not. I don't remember.
this is a long time ago. We're starting a
Okay, anyways.
company about like a clothing company. Remember that?
Okay. That I don't
And
remember,
you
actually.
don't remember
No.
that? Dude,
Remind me of it.
I actually still have that in the back of my head. Um,
Really?
it's like a clothing line. Well, I don't want to really say the details on the podcast. I could talk to you about it, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
after, but it's still something that I am maybe thinking about in the future.
Mm,
When I say future, maybe a year or two.
yeah. Yeah, well, who knows, right?
All right.
Like especially these days, like I've looked into ways on how to sell t-shirts and all that stuff, but I'm like, again, it goes back to me asking myself, is this something that I want to do all day? Probably not. Like I can probably. That's why I started those personalized designs. Like I had to, uh, you know, make something for my friends. They didn't even fucking ask for it. Like I just had to ask them because I have to work on something. I have to, just so I have something to show for. I had to do that.
Yeah.
Um, but I like business because then it teaches you. I don't know. There's a lot of skills that you need to have to be successful at it. You gotta learn how to negotiate. You gotta learn how to write a copy. You gotta,
Put yourself out there. You have to market yourself.
yeah. There's
It's a
there's
good
there's
thing.
a lot of that, and that's what I'm into. That's why I like to. This is why I'm doing this too.
Right.
It's all part of it.
It's all connected.
Like yeah, I'm
That's
writing
why
because of that too.
I like this too, and it kind of connects it on a different way than yours, because one of my goals right now is if I want to do something, I'm gonna try it and I'm gonna see it through. Hence, like we had this podcast idea,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll be damned if we're not gonna finish this and see it through. You know,
Yeah.
it's not like it's the whole idea, the from idea
You have to take
to
action.
action.
You have to take action.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
100, 1,000%.
Mm-hmm.
So
Man,
that's
taking action. I wish I could do more action. Because sometimes, going back to what you said about the product too. You know, remember I told you about the insurance company that I work for?
mm, yeah,
Well, I don't really believe the product just yet. And if I don't believe the product, then I'm more reluctant to reach out to my friends. But now that I'm
mm,
getting deeper into it, I'm like, okay, you know what? This is actually a good product. So now I'm more confident to go out there and reach out to people because what I
yeah,
have is legit. But until you believe in your product, good luck trying to convince others. Kind of like,
right.
like trying to, like when it comes to dating, right? If you don't even love yourself, well, then how do you expect others to love you?
Well, a lot of people do that. A lot of people hate themselves and still be like,
Well, because the other person's trying to fix the other one, right?
exactly. It's like, hmm, let me. I'll be the one to get to fix him. He's so broken. It's so attractive.
Yeah. Hey, have you listened to
Yeah.
that podcast that I sent you, the Mating Rounds by Tucker Max? That's a
Nope.
good podcast. That's a
Nope.
good podcast. You should. It's funny. It's I don't know, like it reminds me of how we are back in the day, like how you people are so straight up.
You know, there's a lot of people that give me because I'm pretty like known to like consume podcasts a lot. So people
Okay,
are always
I
like,
do too.
check this out, check this out,
Yeah,
check
yeah.
this out. I will maybe eventually, but like it's like advice. I usually don't like listen to it, kind of
What's
thing.
that?
It's
Oh,
kind of like when people give me advice. I'm more like, okay. I mean, I appreciate it,
well,
but
I'm the same. I'm the same
yeah.
way.
But let me what is it called?
The
The
Mating
mating
Grounds
drive.
podcast. It's not running anymore. This was a podcast that I used to listen to years ago.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
but I like the way how they are to each other or to this guy named Joe. They were straight up with him,
Like
and I learned a lot from
honest.
that podcast. Yeah, because
Mm,
then they talk about, I don't know, like they talk about why he is the way he is, and they talked about how he should start thinking differently because this guy likes to be in the status quo, right? I don't know, like you have to listen to it. I'm butchering the value of the podcast by explaining it. I'm not doing any justice to it, but you should
okay.
listen to it to you know get a whole grasp of what I'm trying to say, because I'm
Okay.
not explaining it correctly right now.
Okay.
We gotta wrap
Well,
up soon.
yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the motherland. Anything about it? This is Balikbayan Box, so we haven't
Oh,
talked
you know what I
we haven't
just
talked
realized?
anything about it. Yeah.
I think we're gonna call it Balikbayan Box because when you get a Balikbayan box,
You don't know what
you
you
know
get.
what's in it. Yeah, you don't
Huh?
know what you're gonna get. It's kind of
That's
like a
true.
gift,
That's
right?
true. That's true.
Like you have a little bit of expectations. Like you get some Fruit of the Loom shirts in there, some
Stateside.
peanut butter, spam, Irish Spring soap.
Yeah, it's the soap, deodorant, all that stuff.
Irish Spring
I
or some
love Irish.
Hershey's.
Yeah,
Um,
chocolate.
I don't like I
Chocolate,
don't like
huh?
Irish Spring chocolate. I
I
don't like
love it.
Irish Spring.
I still use Irish Spring, bro. Irish Spring is
Don't you
the
find it too strong and
shit.
it dries up your skin? You know what I use now? I use
Who
Dove.
cares? Oh,
I
oh,
care.
yeah, of
I fucking care.
course. I mean,
Like with
Mrs.
Irish Spring,
Reyes,
like the smell is just too strong. There was one time.
Mrs. Ramona Reyes.
There was that one
Mhm.
time I was rushing, and I took a shower for like fucking 3 minutes. I was just like fucking mad rush, getting ready because my friends are waiting outside. and I used Irish Spring. Man, they're like, what the kind of deodorant are you wearing there, buddy? I'm like, that wasn't a deodorant. It was just a fucking regular soap. That's how I realized how strong Irish Spring is. Like I'm talking about the scent.
Don't even the fact that they're even commenting on your scent. Get out of here with that. Talk about what you smell like.
In my head,
Should
I
have
was like,
should have comment about what dude smells like. Anyways,
but you know what I
so
mean. Like the whole point is the scent that you're gonna get from using Irish Spring. It's
the
pretty
point
strong.
is the point is Mrs. Ramona Reyes is that who cares?
Okay,
Nobody cares about what you have to say about
I
dumb.
just remembered Balikbayan
Anyways,
Box. But
like
that's what you're
buying
gonna get
box.
from this podcast, guys.
Yep. You never know what you get. You never know. Don't expect to have any guests soon because I feel like we're
I
not.
just had to say that. I just had to say that because then
It's not gonna
you can
say
just
it.
I can just go, hey, check out this podcast. They're not gonna fucking check it.
You
Every
didn't
kind of
send
like
it on the thing on the our other
have
group thing.
yeah. Have you had a chance to rewatch the podcast that we did?
I actually have, yeah.
I haven't. I can't like I remember what we talked about, but I haven't had a chance to go
I
back and
I kind of had to
watch
because
myself.
I had notes on myself that I had to like because that's how you get better at podcasting. You have to listen to it.
Well, you gotta, but this one is a lot better than the one that we had last time, though, right?
Maybe I don't know.
I
I'll
think
find
so.
out. I'll find out if I listen to it.
Because last time I had a lot of pauses, and I'm like I'm stalling because of that stupid fucking question of introducing yourself. I always struggle with that question.
Not
I'm
stupid, but it's just your engineer lizard brain.
No, it's
That's
not. A engineers so don't have lizard brains. Lizard brains are for people who don't really think. They just react out of fear.
no, is that what
That's
it
the
is? So
reptilian brain. That's
what
the
kind of
lizard
brain do you
brain.
have? What kind of brain do you have?
Oh,
A
the
machine?
ape, not a
You
machine, man.
got
Probably.
a Siri?
I don't
Alexa?
know. I wanna go that far, but not a lizard. More mammalian brain. Anyways, we have 5 more minutes left until I hit stop on this recording. But yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna send it to those guys.
Yeah, send it to those guys. And like I said, this is good for the reps. We just have to have we got to put our reps in. We got to put episodes behind us for us to get better.
I agree.
Especially and not
That's why I
gonna
agreed to do
lie,
this too, right?
right? Not gonna lie, when we first started, I was kind of like dragging. I was kind of like but then you just kind of get into that groove. Like as soon as we got started,
Yeah.
I felt like you just gotta come get comfortable. Just gotta get comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. I'm the same way. Like I wrote about this kind of stuff too. Like you got to do your reps.
Can you not like put your hand on your face?
Yeah.
There you
Like
go.
you got to do your reps
Hmm.
because if you don't, you how do you even expect yourself to improve?
Right, and that's in like all the podcasts that I listen to. Whenever people ask that, like, how do you get better? How are you so good? They put in the time. They put in the
There's really
time.
no. I don't know if you've heard of this, but like the shortcut is the hard work. You gotta work hard. Man, I'm gonna take this conversation to another fucking level again. Well, not another level, but another
We're
topic.
not.
You know how
We don't. We don't have time for that. So
I know. I was just gonna
that's why
say,
you
you
haven't
know
you
how
haven't been writing stuff down. You got to write stuff down because I've been writing stuff down. You haven't been doing that. That's my critic.
well, not
That's my
today. I was just
criticism.
enjoying. Not today. I was just enjoying the conversation because I just remembered another thing. Like when it comes to fuck. Now I just forgot my train of. I forgot what I was about to say about working hard. Like how people are stuck with like don't work hard, work smart kind of thing. I have an issue with that too, but we can talk about that next time.
Then write it down so you remember.
Or I can rewatch this again and I will write it down after, right?
Even better if you did that. I'm actually gonna write down. That's what I haven't done this week. I was planning on writing down stuff along, like as the days go by, so I'll remember the things that because I think Monday or earlier this week something happened, and I was like, oh, this is a good thing to talk to in the podcast
Yeah.
about, but I forgot. I forgot all about it. So
That's why I journal. That's why every week I write. So I don't know if you're not even reading my blog, but anyways,
I read
um,
the last week's.
yeah, but you know, like the first section, like, you know, what's on my mind this week.
Mm-hmm.
What I do too is like I have little notes in my notebook. Every time I have an idea, I write them down here. So then I know what to write about, right? Comes the
Yeah,
weekend.
I'm the same, but it's songs, like lyrics.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I noticed you added a story on your Instagram one time,
Mm-hmm.
and it talks about, like, you know, like it had a picture of you driving to Georgia or something, or to Georgia airport or Atlanta airport. I don't know, but you talked about writing songs. Something that we're gonna talk about next time, not this time.
Write it down.
Just gotta
Okay.
go to sleep. Gotta get up early tomorrow. I
I
gotta write my
think
blog.
I think we should end it at this. Um,
Yeah,
anything?
if you
Any
guys are
last
still
words?
listening, good for you.
Is this a bit? There's gonna be a bit that you're gonna do every single time we're about to end. If you guys are still listening, I think you should do it.
What bit?
So a bit meaning like a thing that you do.
Oh, I'm just gonna say wave bye bye.
No. Just be like, are you guys still listening? If you guys are still listening. But
That's
this
something
is
that we can.
episode 2, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for listening with our babbling, boringness, mundaneness,
Yeah,
and hopefully,
if you guys want to hop on a call, like send us an email. Fuck, like we'd love to talk to you, because sometimes, well, we're so early in this podcast, we're probably not gonna run out of stuff to talk about. But hey,
I
feel
don't.
free to drop a comment or whatever criticism. Give it.
By the way, I don't think we're ever gonna run out of things to talk about. To be
Well, you
honest.
never know.
Mm,
You'll never know. It's episode 2. Um, but yeah, guys, comments. Maybe you should ask your friend again about this this episode.
yeah, I'll tell that person to
We need
listen
we
again.
need we need feedback. You know, like you
Yeah,
can shit on us as much as you guys want.
I
No
think the
problem.
whole all those feedback things. It's okay to have it, but right now let's just focus on us,
Oh yeah,
our own like
I'll be honest. At this point,
self criticism.
I don't really give a fuck about, you know, whatever. I gotta stop this. Bye bye.